Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. There's a video on PIB monthly compilation and I'll be discussing PIB for the month of August. PIB is an important document, an important compilation that will definitely help you for both prelims and mains examination. So just take you through what we'll be discussing in this session. So first, the important news that is related to General Studies Paper 2, followed by General Studies Paper 3 related news. Some news that is important, some brief news. Bilateral Agreement and Summit that took place for the entire month of August. And the military exercises that has also held in the month of August. Right? We'll see each and everything that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination perspective. Now, just to add on this, if you want to optimize your level in current affairs, just a suggestion that do watch PRS videos, right? PRS plus this PIB video. This will make your preparation more comprehensive, right? Because in PRS we mostly cover the bill that is there, and PIB is again a holistic video that will give you the entire current affairs. So watching it together will definitely make your preparation of current affairs more holistic in nature. So this is a suggestion from my side that do watch that together. The PRS video has already been uploaded in our website, in our YouTube channel. You can check it on your playlist section. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. So starting this session, first all the news that is relevant under the category of General Studies Paper 2, we'll see that, understand that, and you can even take a note of that so that you can utilize in the examination. So first, National Security Strategy Conference 2022. Recently, the Union Home Minister has inaugurated the National Security Strategic Conference 2022, and the conference was held in pursuance of the Prime Minister vision, जहाँ पे ये कोशिश की गई है, ये envision की गई है to ensure a safe and secure nation by strengthening all aspects of national security mechanism. As the name suggests, the National Security Strategic Conference focuses upon the national security strategies. Now, the conference is being attended by more than 600 officers across the country, physically and virtually. The Union Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, has emphasized that the importance of human intelligence towards countering terrorism is very important, and even we need to augment it, we need to revamp it. Now, some focus area of this conference, the National Security Strategic Conference 2022, has focuses upon the subject of national security, which include counter-terrorism. This is again very important. Radicalizations, issues pertaining to cryptocurrencies. We have been looking into the aspects of fraud that is coming out of the cryptocurrencies. Counter rogue drone technology. India has although advancing its technology in terms of drone. Challenges posed by the Maoist outfit. Right. So the conference also emphasized on the importance humans' intelligence towards the countering terrorism, underscoring the crucial role of district level police officer. And just to add on this, अगर district level police officers की बात करें, right? So these are the actual people who are the first people to respond for any activity. So training them, skilling them in a proper manner is essentially required to get a target of national security strategies, right? So identifying the emerging terror and the hotspots. So these are some of the focus area of the National Security Strategic Conference 2022. Now the other news, that is 7th Governing Council meeting of the NITI Aayog. The Prime Minister has recently chaired the 7th Governing Council of the NITI Aayog. I think most of you must be aware that Prime Minister is the chairman. Those of you who do not know, just take a note of this. The Governing Council meeting of NITI Aayog is first in-person meeting after the COVID-19, since it was not held since 2019. The conference was chaired by the Prime Minister, attended by the Chief Secretary of all state union territories, along with the seniors officers of the states and central government. The Prime Minister has categorically lauded the state corporations in the fighting of COVID-19, and he said that this is a classical example of cooperative federalism. And even you can use this example in your, you can use this cooperative federalism example in your mains paper and even for the essay paper. आप लिख सकते हैं कि कोविड-19 के टाइम में जिस तरह से स्टेट्स और सेंटर ने कोऑर्डिनेशन दिखाई, दिस इज अ क्लासिकल एग्जांपल ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म इन आवर कंट्री. नाउ एजेंडा ऑफ द मीटिंग की अगर बात करें, जो गवर्निंग काउंसिल की मीटिंग हुई है उसमें क्या एजेंडा सेट किए गए. फर्स्ट वाज अबाउट द क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन एंड अचीविंग सेल्फ सफिशिएंसी ऑफ इंडिया इन ऑयल, सीड, पल्सेस एंड एग्रो कम्युनिटीज. खास करके अगर बात करें राइस की, या फिर अभी आपने आज की न्यूज़ में भी देखा होगा, राइस को गवर्नमेंट ने बैन बेसिकली एक्सपोर्ट करने से भी मना कर दिया है. सो गवर्नमेंट इज टेकिंग ऑल बेस्ट पॉसिबल मेथड्स जहाँ पे डोमेस्टिक मार्केट सप्लाई भी बनी हो और एक्चुअल में फार्मर्स को भी बेनिफिट मिले. Implementations of the National Education Policy 2022, which was already envisaged by the government, उसके implementation पे खासा ध्यान देने की बात कही गई है. Implementations of the National Education Policy for higher education, this is for school level and other is for the higher level. And urban governance is again the important priority area and the agenda of the meeting for the Governance Council. Focus on 3 T's की बात की गई है. These 3 T's stand for trade, tourism and technology, and even you can directly get a essay on this particular topic, right? तो इस तरह के टॉपिक्स को आप ध्यान रखिए, डायरेक्ट essay भी आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं. The Prime Minister in his closing remark has said that each state should focus on promoting trade, tourism and technology. This precisely to be known as 3T, and via every Indian mission around and the world. And the other important aspects of this meeting was sustainable and inclusive growth for India. So in a drive towards building a steady, sustainable and inclusive growth, the 7th Governing Council of the NITI Aayog that focuses on to pave the way for synergy between the collaborations and cooperations between 3 important stakeholders. That 3 stakeholders are the central government, right? The state government and the union territories. तो इन तीनों के बीच में कोऑर्डिनेशन, समन्वय बनाने की जरूरत है. They need to have a cooperation so that the optimization, the sustainable and inclusive growth is an end product for India. Now, meeting has also laid the emphasis on importance of the presidency of India. Basically, G20 के प्लेटफॉर्म की अगर बात करें, India would be heading with the presidency in the G20. So this is a right time where states, a coordination between the center and state is essentially required, and all the target that has been set by our country should be achieved. Now, India-Iran signed pact to aid the movement of seafarers, again an important agreement. So recently, India and Iran have signed a memorandum of understanding, and MOU was signed between India and Iran to recognize certificates of competency in unlimited voyages for the seafarers for both the nation as per the provisions of International Convention on Standard and Training Certification and Watchdog for the Seafarers, that is in 1978. The signing of MOU is aimed at smoothening the movement of seafarers for both countries. So it will be mutually benefiting both India and Iran, right? Seafarers Agreement की अगर बात करें, along with the handovers of 6 mobile harbor crane to the Port Authority, this is for the first tangible development that we have seen in the year of dormancy owing the unfulfillment of potential. पोस्ट बेसिकली अगर बात करें कोविड रिलेटेड रिस्ट्रिक्शंस की वजह से भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा इस पर एक्टिविटीज़ हो नहीं पाई. नाउ दिस इज अ रिवाइवल इन द सीफेरर्स एग्रीमेंट विच इज गोइंग टू रिवैम्प द सेक्टर. सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ चाबहार पोर्ट इसमें एविडेंट है. दिस इज समथिंग यू मस्ट नो. सो द टॉक्स over the development of Chabahar port has gained a momentum in the recent time. Chabahar port की अगर बात करें, it is India gateway for trade with the Central Asian countries, European nations, and with the increased engagement with Russia, once its potential is leveraged with the INSTC. Right now, it has developed the India's assistant, currently operated by the state-owned India's Port Global, and India's highlight the role of Chabahar port as a trade multiplier. And just to tell you, Chabahar port की जो लोकेशन है उसको आप जरूर देख लें. It is important for your map work. I have several times discussed with the map. This time I'm not adding this map. Do check it out. आप थोड़े revision कर लें. This will be relevant for your examination purposes. Now, the development of Chabahar port would lead to an increase in the trade and shipment volume. The other news, that is Grameen Udami project launched. The Minister of Tribal Affairs has recently launched the Grameen Udami project in Ranchi to promote the skill development and entrepreneurship in the tribal youth and giving boost to the Skill India mission. So this can be supplemented in General Studies paper 2 where welfare section for the poor community is concerned. The Grameen Udami Yojana is implemented under the Sansadiya Parisankul Yojana, and this is a unique multi-skill project funded by NSDC to train 450 tribal students in Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand. So, if it is being asked कौन से states के beneficiaries हैं, the correct answer would be Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand, right? And the project is being implemented in Sindh, other states which include Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Gujarat. So the beneficiary states include all these 6 states, right? Now, what is the aim of this project? So, the Grameen Udyami project aims to augment the skill training of the tribal communities for their inclusive and sustainable growth. And under this initiative, the endeavor is to have a multi-skill India and youth that impart functional skill for enabling the livelihoods. And the project focusing on the strengthening sustainable livelihood for the tribal population. So this is something that is definitely going to help to improve overall growth and livelihood of the tribal populations. Now, training की अगर बात करें, training under the training under the project will be conducted for the job roles with the relevant local economy, चाहे वो electrician and the solar power installation, जो PV photovoltaic installations होती है उसके लिए, plumbing and masonry, two-wheel repair maintenance, IT and ITs with e-governance and farm mechanization. So these are the area a local economy will be definitely benefited, and ultimately the skilling will be done, the training will be provided in all the concerned field. Now, objective की अगर बात करें, it will increase in rural and local economy, definitely enhance employment opportunities for the people residing in the area, reduce forced migration due to lack of local opportunities which is there, and conservation of the natural resources. Smile 75 initiative. So recently, the Union Ministry for Social Justice and Empowerment has launched 75 initiative to address the persistence problem of destitutions and beggary. तो आप अगर बात करें इस मिनिस्ट्रीज की, वो ध्यान रखिए कौन से प्रोग्राम किस मिनिस्ट्री ने लॉन्च किए. दिस इज मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट. It was launched as a part of comprehensive scheme that is SMILE, support for marginalized individual for their livelihood and entrepreneur and enterprises actually. Now under the SMILE 75 initiative, 75 identify municipal corporations under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav will take comprehensive rehabilitations person that is engaged in the act of begging. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has allocated a total of 100 crore budget for the SMILE scheme in the coming years, that is till 2025 and 26. Now, what is the aim of the SMILE project? So the Ministry of Justice has said that it will develop a support mechanism for the holistic rehabilitations of the people who are engaged in the begging, and it will ensure that no person is forced to beg in order to survive or fulfill their basic need. Why people are begging? Definitely they cannot sustain their life, they're not educated, they cannot get job anywhere, or they're not able, even some people are physically challenged. So there's ultimately concern for government of India that if no one can be forced and a fund has already been created, that it is going to help. Now, objective की अगर बात करें, the SMILE 75 is to make our cities, town and municipal area begging free, and this is a comprehensive strategy that will call for the rehabilitations of the people, right, in the act of begging through coordinations of the various stakeholders. Definitely, even many stakeholders like NGO and the state government will have to play a crucial role. The Ministry of Social Justice understands that the role of urban local bodies, civil society, NGO to address this problem will be of great importance. Now, status of beggars की अगर बात करें इंडिया में, as per the census 2021, India has close to 4,13,670 beggars, right? And these are the bifurcation for the male and females. State which has the highest number of beggars include the first being the West Bengal, followed by Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. अगर यूटी की बात करें So Delhi has the largest number of begging, and this is the obvious reason because this city is a cosmopolitan city. Many people are coming for their opportunities, and even for a lot of people come to Delhi. So this is also the reason that number has taken a toll. Now, in other categories is Chandigarh. Assam top the list with the begging among the north eastern states. So any of this might be important question. Generally, this type of question is not being asked, but for your knowledge, you should know all these things. Now, some important news that is relevant for General Studies Paper 3. 75 Ramsar Site in 75th year of independence. Recently, India has added 11 important sites to the Ramsar. According to the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the induction of 11 sites to the Ramsar had made it a great importance, and the number of Ramsar site has become 75 now in India. This is a very important question. Even UPSC and its different examination like CAPF, EPFO have already asked this question when it was not 75. तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चन पूछे गए हैं, आप जरूर इसको ध्यान रखें. 75 is the number. Now, of 11 sites, 4 are there in the Tamil Nadu, 3 in Odisha, 2 in Jammu and Kashmir, and 1 in Madhya Pradesh. If you belong to any of the state and if you're appearing for State Public Service Commission examination, then this is important for you. A total of 26 sites were added to the Ramsar site list, that is 1982 to 2013. So these are the 11 Ramsar site that has been added. You can take the screenshot of this. This is Tampara Lake, Hirakund Reservoir, Ansupa Lake, Yaswant Sagar, Chitkuddi Bird Sanctuary, Sundiram Dhiror Wetland Complex, Vadhur Bird Sanctuary, and again is the Kanjirakulam Bird Sanctuary, Thanke Creek, Hagyam Wetland Conservations, and Salbuk Wetland Conservation Reservoir. Take the screenshot. This name might be important. आप इसके आसपास के जो लोकेशंस हैं और भी कोई बेसिकली नेशनल पार्क्स हैं, इस तरह कोई रिजर्वॉयर्स हैं, तो उनके बारे में जरूर देखिए. Now about the Ramsar site, the Ramsar Convention is the international treaty on the conservation, and basically it is used for the wetland, to conserve the wetland. It is named after the Iranian city of the Ramsar, which is there on the Caspian Sea. Right, this treaty was signed way back in 1971. The Ramsar site was established in response to Article 2.1 of the Conservation of Wetlands, right, where each contracting party, the member party, designates suitable wetland within the territory for inclusion. And India is one of the contracting parties to the Ramsar Convention, just signed in 1971. So this is again an important point that you need to remember for the prelims exam. Draft Indian Port Bill 2022. Recently, the Centre has issued a draft port bill for the stakeholder consultations, और ये बिल जो है पुरानी एक्ट, द पोर्ट एक्ट 908, जो कि एक 110 साल पुरानी 110 years old एक्ट है, उसको रिप्लेस करेगी. The draft has been prepared to considerate the amendment of the laws to prevent any kind of basically containment of the pollutions and port, and to ensure that compliances are there within the obligations under the maritime treaties and international instrument which India is a party. तो जितनी भी एग्रीमेंट्स इंडिया जिसकी पार्टी है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ही इस बिल को लाया जाएगा. Now, aim of this bill, first and foremost, that it has been prepared to consolidate and amend the laws related to port, and it will call for to prevent and containment of the pollution in the port. This is the first priority. Second is to have a compliance with the country's obligations under the maritime and international treaties. And third is to take measure for the conservation of the port, empower and establish state maritime boards for effective administration, control and manage the non-major port of India, and provide educating mechanism for the redressal of the port related disputes. And there will be a national council on fostering the structured growth or development of the port sector. So these are some of the main aim and rationale of the bill. And what are the objectives of the port bill? There are 4 important priority areas. The bill proposes fourfold. The first is to have promote integrated planning between the state, that is the interstate and the center states, through a purely consultative and recommendatory framework. दूसरी, ensure preventions for pollution measure for all ports in India while incorporating India's obligations under the international treaties. थर्ड इज टू एड्रेस द लैकुना, जो खामियां हैं उसको पहचानना, एंड डिस्प्यूट रेजोल्यूशन फ्रेमवर्क रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द ब्यूरिंग port sectors, and ushers in transparency and cooperations in development and other aspects of the use of data, right? So these are the fourfold main objective of this port bill. Now moving to the other news, that is India's first truly indigenous basically fuel cell bus that was developed. So the recently Union Minister for State and Science has launched India's first hydrogen fuel cell bus, and this is India's first truly indigenous developed by KPIT CSIR in Pune. The fuel cell utilizes hydrogen and air to generate electricity, and the bus, and not only effluent from the bus and water. This was possible through most environment friendly mode of transportation. इस तरह के जो क्वेश्चन होते हैं प्रीलिम्स में कई बार अक्सर पूछे जाते हैं. So make sure you understand the concept, how it is actually working. The high efficiency of the fuel cell ensure lower operational cost in the kilometer than diesel powered vehicle and can bring freight revolution in India. इंडिया की क्या हाइड्रोजन विजन है? दिस इज अगेन स्पेसिफिकली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन. मेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अगर देखें तो ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा रेलिवेंट. So India's hydrogen vision is important to ensure Atmanirbhar means of affordable, accessible clean energy, meeting climate goals, creating new entrepreneur and job. And the green hydrogen is an excellent clean energy vector that enable deep carbonizations of difficult to abate emissions, refining industries, fertilizer industries, steel industries, cement industries, and also other commercial sectors. So these are the sectors that will be equally benefited with the India's hydrogen vision. Advantages की अगर बात करें, the hydrogen fuel vehicle provide an excellent means to eliminate on-road emissions in the sector, and India aims to increase the inland water on the freight passengers transport. The hydrogen fuel powered vehicle can be refilled in few minutes and nearly as fast as possible. The fossil fuel can have internal combustion engine. And the fuel cell vehicles have also zero greenhouse emissions. So these are some of the advantages which can again be relevant for the prelims examination. Now, Cabinet approved India updated national determined contributions. अगर इंडिया की NDC की बात करें, which is again very important, this is precisely known as intended national determined contributions. So यूनियन कैबिनेट ने अपनी NDC को बेसिकली इम्प्रूव किया, रिवाइज किया, जो कि पेरिस क्लाइमेट चेंज के अंदर होती है. और अभी रिसेंट में जो ग्लासगो में मीटिंग हुई थी, दिस इज COP26, राइट, जो COP26 की मीटिंग हुई है उसमें प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने पंचामृत की भी बात की है. आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस दिस न्यूज सेवरल टाइम, बट अगेन जस्ट टू मेक यू रिवाइज, वी आर डूइंग इट अगेन. नाउ द अपडेटेड NDC की बात करें, इंडिया कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस टुवर्ड अचीविंग द ग्लोबल response on the threat of the climate change under the Paris Agreement. The pledge is to have out clean energy transmission pathway by 2030, and India stands committed for reducing the emissions by GDP 45% 2030 over 2005 level, and the country has also targeted about 50% of cumulative electric power installation from the non-fossil fuel-based energy by 2030. इंडिया की NDCs की अगर बात करें, already submitted its pledge in 2015. The first was to reduce the emissions of the economy by 30 to 35% 2005 level. Second was 40% installations of the non-fossil, we have already discussed. And third is to create an additional carbon sink by 2.5 to 3 gigaton of the carbon dioxide, right, by 20-30%, and additional forest cover and tree cover will be required. Prime Minister has already called for Panchamrit. I think most of you must be aware of this. If not, do learn it. It is very, very important. The first Panchamrit that was there in the Glasgow meeting that the Prime Minister has advocated for. The first was non-fossil capacity to 500 gigawatt by 2030, 50% of energy requirement from the renewable source of energies by 2030. It will reduce the total projected carbon emission by 1 billion ton. That is again 2030. And by 2030, India will reduce the carbon intensity of economy by less than 45%. And by 2070, India will be a net zero emissions country, right? The target to achieve the net zero emissions. Now, some news that is precisely brief in nature, but is again important for examination. Tiranga Utsav. What is important in this? Ministry of Culture has organized this Tiranga Utsav, and the aim of this initiative was to celebrate the contribution of Bengali वेंकैया to occasion of 146th birth anniversary इनकी रिपोर्ट की गई है. So this is again single most important information for the prelims. And Bengali Venkaiah was India's freedom fighter and follows the Mahatma Gandhi. Designated the flag based on India flag was there, and he posthumously awarded Bharat Ratna in 2011. So these two statements is relevant. Cyberpurp. Recently, the Union Home Secretary has released a manual for newsletter that is I4C. I4C का मतलब है इंडिया की जो coordinated. This is just a second. I'll just tell you. This is I4C. The 4C stand for Cyber Crime Coordination and Center, right? As a part to check the cyber crimes. The manual was a part of focused awareness campaign to prevent the crime and include the cyber hygiene in rural areas, industrial bodies, and general public, right? So Cyberpurp, which aims to create awareness about the recent development in the field of cybercrime and cybercrime technology and terminologies. We have seen a lot of the cases has been reported specifically from rural India and tier 2 or tier 3 cities. Now, I4C was set up as a CIC division in 2018, and the agency is coordinating with the central government to support the union territories, the state government, and the coordination between the central government. First, Khelo India Women Judo Tournament. This was recently held across the zone in India. And the Judo tournament is a tentative which was conducted by the Ministry of Youth Affairs to promote competitiveness for women in the flagship program called Khelo India. And the tournaments were held across the 4 zone, and national round was also there at the national level, right? So competition range was there between 4 group, that is sub-junior, cadet, junior group, and the senior group. So the age category has been defined accordingly. And the Department of State Sports under the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports have allocated 1.7 crore rupees to conduct the tournament, including the prize money of 48.86 lakh. Now, India to become Atmanirbhar in di-ammonia phosphate as a part of India's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative and to promote self-sufficiency in fertilizers, Government of India has been advising to support India's fertilizers to strengthen their back-end supply chain. It is very important that we should do this. तो डाइअमोनियम फास्फेट जिसको डैप के नाम से भी जाना जाता है, डैप is a world most used phosphorus in fertilizers, and this is preferred because India contain both nitrogen and phosphorus. इंडिया की जो soils है, even for basically primary nutrients अगर बात करें, part of essential plant element, जो अगर plant की essential जो element 18 essential plant nutrients है, उसमें डाइअमोनियम फास्फेट का एक बहुत important role है. The Government of India has been partnering with industries to enable the investment and supply security goals for meeting countries' fertilizer needs. There's some bilateral agreement and summit that was held in the month of August. So India-UK Free Trade Agreement. Recently, India and United Kingdom concluded the 5th round of India-UK trade agreements, and India and UK officially continue to work intensively towards basically the targets and achieve a comprehensive balanced trade agreement. This is known as KEPA. KEPA की अगर बात करें उसके लेकर की भी बात की गई है by October 2022. Now, trade between India and United Kingdom. So the value is going to stood around 16 billion for the first time in like close to 11 months. The UK and India as 17th largest trading partner during this period. A free trade agreement on the trade pact accordingly in the national law. Free trade area between the cooperation was there. And a recent visit of United Kingdom Prime Minister called for expanding the defense partnership between India and United Kingdom. The United Kingdom and India have also agreed to significantly boost ties on trade, defense, and other important matters. India-Mauritius meeting on SME cooperations, joint cooperation meeting. This was a third meeting that was held between the micro, small, and medium enterprises and the Ministry of Business Enterprises, the Republic of Mauritius. तो कुछ important areas discuss किए गए हैं जिनमें MOUs भी signed हुए. First is to engage the best practices and experiences of development of MSME sector, holding physical virtual exhibitions, technological cooperations, encouraging B2B cooperations and collaborations, entrepreneurship development and training program, collaborations in sectors such as aromatherapy and food processing and agro businesses. So these are some of the areas where MSME has also a potential, and even collaborating with Mauritius, they can also improve a lot better. 38 meeting of minister level river commissions. 38 meeting with number is again important for many other competitive examination. This was held in New Delhi between India and Bangladesh. The delegation was there from the Ministry of Jal Shakti from India and the counterpart that is from Bangladesh. इंडिया और बांग्लादेश के बीच में 44 रिवर्स हैं जो शेयर करते हैं और अभी जो रिसेंट एग्रीमेंट हो रही है वो 7 रिवर्स के ऊपर हो रही है. तीस्ता is again one of the significant part, and the meeting has held after a gap of 12 years. Those of you who are watching our daily news and editorial analysis must be aware of all this fact because I have discussed this news there also. Agenda of the meeting की अगर बात करें, first was the river water sharing of the common rivers, water sharing between the common rivers, sharing of the flood data, addressing the river pollutions, conducting joint studies on sedimentation management and the river protections. And the MOU was also signed on the water sharing of the Kushiara River. आप ये नाम जरूर ध्यान रखें. Kushiara is going to be important for prelims. And both sides has welcomed finalizations of the intake vote on the Feni rivers, and basically which needs to be there in the subroom town of Tripura, and it is also a part of India-Bangladesh MOU. Right? Now, some important military exercises that was relevant for the month of August. Ex-Varja Praha. This is a 13th edition of India-US Joint Special Forces that was there recently commenced, and it was this in Balco in HP, Himachal Pradesh. Varja Praha की बात करें, series of joint exercises हुई हैं India US के बीच में, and this is a joint mission planning operation tactics improving the interoperability between the special forces and both the nations, between the India and United States. The exercise is hosted alternatively between India and United States. So this type of news is specifically important for the CAPF examination and even for the UPSC prelims examination. HIM Drone Athon program. This is by Indian Army in collaborations with the Drone Federation of India that was launched. And this is a program pan-India sustained between the stakeholders including the industries, academia, software developers and the drone products manufacturers. The initiative is in line with the India's aim to have Atmanirbhar in the drone productions and even to help the defense sector, and it aims to catalyze and focused approach would be there. The opportunities in the drone ecosystem for a path-breaking drone capabilities meeting the requirement of the frontline drone. Definitely, this is the efforts in the right direction. If we achieve all set of state-of-art technology, India can be Atmanirbhar in defense manufacturing, which will definitely catalyze the overall drone industry in our country. Eksh Udara Shakti. This is again a bilateral exercise between India and Malaysian force. आप दोनों कंट्रीज के जो नाम है वो भी ध्यान रखें. This was done in the RMFF Air Base Kunta, and this exercise between two forces cohesions and the series of aerial combat drill and the multiple domain took place. The exercise was characterized by the display of high degree of professionalism by all the participants. Now, second India-Bangladesh Tri-Services Staff Talk. This is between India and Bangladesh, which was held in Delhi. The meeting was conducted in a friendly and warm, cordial atmosphere. The discussion on the ongoing initiatives taken, like existing bilateral defense cooperation mechanism in all three services, that is Army, Navy, and Air Force, and further strengthening the bilateral defense agreement. So this is how both India and Bangladesh is going to be mutually benefited. Now, the last exercise, that is Winback's 2022. This is between India and Vietnam, right? An army bilateral army exercise was recently conducted, and it's a multi-agency humanitarian assistance for disaster relief, demonstrated the equipment, showing that Make in India Atmanirbhar initiatives. The exercise was focused on deployment of army engineers, medical teams, and UN peacekeeping operations. The next editions of Winbacks was hosted in Vietnam in 2023. So this is the next venue where it will be going to take place, right? It is going to schedule to be happen. So this is all about the PIB compilation for the month of August. We have a lot more initiatives for you, like daily news and editorial analysis. IAS Gazette की मैगजीन है जो हमारे वेबसाइट से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, IAS ज्ञान की वेबसाइट से. FCA is released on every second Sunday and fourth Sunday. PIB compilations, which I'm discussing, MPR is already released. Do supplement PIB and MPR together, और Just of Yojana and Kurukshetra भी आपको playlist section में मिल जाएगी. So all this initiative will help you to sail through the journey of civil services. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.